My guest today is Dr. Constanze Stelzenmüller. She's with a group that is visiting the region, and today Armenia, sponsored by the German Marshall Fund and the Bosch Foundation of Germany. I think for us the most interesting thing is listening to you all, experts on the region, say, you know, we've come to the region because these are the questions facing us, or we've come to the region surprised that I don't know what. What are your questions about us?
Well, my questions are pretty elementary because I'm so ignorant. This is my first visit to Armenia. It was my first visit to Azerbaijan. I'd been to Georgia before. And, you know, I come from a generation of Germans that basically grew up without history. Right? Our history had been...
Interesting way to put it.
Yes, well, it was because our history had been very, very, very bad between 33 and 45. So our generation grew up with the sense that we had started over from a blank slate in 45 and we're going to do everything new. So one consequence of reunification in '89 was that we had to start learning history again, because suddenly, and of course not reunification alone, but the fall of the wall and the end of the Soviet Empire. And suddenly, Europe had Eastern neighbors again, and if you wanted to have relations with them, you were going to have to understand their historical issues.
That's such a great way to put it, because, you know, in many ways, '89 was also our reason to start relearning history. Like the fall of the wall meant things could fall.
Absolutely.
And now we here in this region are faced with many challenges, including having to, I don't know about relearning our history, but having to review our history with an eye to moving on.
History is not something that is inevitable, that brands you for the rest of your life or for generations to come. History is something from which you can make choices, negative choices and positive choices, and people forget that.
Do you find that we in this region understand that?
Yes and no. I think it varies according to where people come from, whether they spent time outside the country and come back, how old they are, and what their social networks are. And it depends on, I think, very much on an individual's sense of opportunity, what is possible for them individually. Take me. I went to university in Germany and had the feeling that we were stuck in a rut in Germany and in Europe. And I went to graduate school in America in '86, and the world opened up for me. And I thought, I'll stay here, because this is so much more fun than living in Europe, where everything seems unchangeable. And then the wall fell, and I came back and I thought, God, it's really possible. The things that I thought that my life were going to shape my life can all change.
You know, in an institution like this where we work, whether it's civilnet.tv or whether it's Civilitas Foundation, one of the hardest things to try to work on is to try to make that point that things do change and you can make change. Part of it is the missing context that we don't have. Part of it is a lack of understanding of how that is actually done. It doesn't just happen, does it?
Absolutely, no it doesn't. This is why regional cooperation is so important. This is why it's so important for us to go around looking at other countries' experiences, seeing what we can share with them, but also learn from them. And I think it also means that you really do have to look at very practical things, such as what you're doing with CivilNet. You know, you bring information out, you do polls, you try to supply people who have grown up drenched in myths, and sometimes false myths. You teach them the importance of facts and the fact that you can make new facts. That for some people can be in itself life-changing. And one of the things that the German Marshall Fund and the Bosch Foundation that we're doing this trip with do a lot is to reach out to sort of the new democracies of Europe, or the democratizing and transforming countries of Europe, and say, you know, you aren't alone in this. And this has been done before. Other countries have been here before. And it's possible to learn from history.
The last quick, tough question. It's been 20 years, and often we kind of give up hope in ourselves. Have you all given up hope in us?
Absolutely not. No. I think what we maybe need to relearn after the phenomenal transformative events of '89 and the years just after that is patience. Some of these changes are generational, are transformational in the long term. And again, speaking as a German, I know whereof I speak. My country took, I think, at least two generations to overcome the Nazi heritage and the heritage of the Holocaust and World War II. This was a lengthy and painful conversation for my nation. Having lived through that, that teaches you humbleness, and that teaches you that you need to wait, and that some of these things, as we say in German, that some of these issues are a very thick planks through which you have to drill very slowly, but with great determination and patience.